Meet me after slashing your wrist, or at the end if you so insist. I'm persistent when told to cease and desist with this blasphemous shit.
Come, Mr. Bill Batty, never disappoint.
Fucking unbelievable. Look, I understand hitting a woman's a bad thing, okay? Well, how come you can't fucking ask questions? I just don't understand. Like, if I get bit by a rattlesnake, wouldn't you guys have some questions? Right? How did it happen? Did you not see it? Were you fucking with it? How did this snake get so mad it almost killed you? Firemen put out a fire, they don't just drive away afterwards, they sift through the debris. How did it start? Here's an oily rag, right? Look, I realize I'm coming off pretty ignorant right about now. I realize that. Let me extend an olive branch then, okay? I realize that there's some animal guys out there, okay? Horrible guys, you know, have a rough day at the factory, come home, tuna casserole, and just start swinging, all right? I'm not trying to say that those people don't exist. I realize they exist. They should be buried underneath the prison, okay? So if I can admit that, ladies, can you at least admit that every ass kicking doesn't just fall out of the fucking sky? Really? Even hockey has 2 minutes for instigating, right? They understand that some back and forth happened before that shit, you know? You know what it is? Is every case is handled like that Rihanna one, where they just say, the guy's a piece of shit, fuck this guy, blah, 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 send him to jail, and then they never ask anything about that. You know, I'm not saying he should have done it, but I'm just saying.
Why?
Just saying. Dude, in your heart of hearts, what do you think was going down before that happened? You think she was just sitting there going, oh my God, Baskin Robbins, you want to get some ice cream?
See, this is the awkward point in society. Like, I don't know how ladies are in a situation like that, but instinctively, when you hear about a fight, it doesn't matter who, unless it's a female relation of your own, obviously, but when you hear about a fight, you instinctively want to know. I think my mic's telling me louder, bro. You instinctively want to know details, like, but now we're at a stage where, like, we want to know the details and then we have to catch ourselves. Like, I don't want to come across like a victim, but I just want to know what you said before it happened. And I'm not going to lie, with Chris Brown, that was my instinctive thing. Because obviously, like, you don't imagine certain people, so you are curious, and that's not to justify what he did, but you still want to know what happened. Do you know what I mean? Like, Eric Cantona kicked the crowd. He didn't just decide to go and kick the crowd. He only did it once in his life. So you'd like to know what caused that to happen. Doesn't mean it was right, even though I thought it was fucking hilarious. It doesn't mean it was right, but even with a murder trial in court, you still have to prove motive, etc., etc. But when it comes to domestic violence, we have got to a stage where don't even ask questions. And in a lot of cases, don't get me wrong, there's so many dickheads. There's more dickheads than not. But sometimes, like, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like an incident thrown into domestic violence. When it's obviously all domestic violence, but one snapping from years of abuse, for example, it's not the same as a guy who, or a woman, because I've received a lot. I've got stab wounds and all sorts. But it's not the same as someone who actually does beat up their partner on a regular basis, who gets angry and all that. Do you know what I mean? So we need to be able to discuss it. And discuss it in a way that doesn't make the victims or anybody who relates to the case, doesn't make them feel like you're blaming them. You just want to know what happened. Even if you said some vile shit beforehand. Like, I would say, if I got knocked out and it was my fault I got knocked out, I would say it was my fault. I cussed out his mum and I weren't in the right fighting stance when I said it, and then I woke up. Do you get what I mean? Like that's the reality, and I think that's what he's trying to say. But we are a bit sensitive, but we're learning. We're getting there.
You know? Or do you think maybe they were having some epic end of the relationship fight and some crazy shit was being said? Maybe she was screaming in his ear some crazy female shit like, oh, fuck all your friends, I don't give a fuck. Maybe that's why I sell more albums than you, motherfucker. Right? To be fair, she could have just been sitting there going, I need a tissue. Do you keep those in the glove box? Oh my God, I'll bring my out. I'll bring my out. Now, fuck that, because you know what it is? They never address how women argue, which I think is a core of a lot of that shit. You know? And I gotta tell you something, man. Like, I never knew how women argued. But after 20 years of losing every significant battle in a relationship, I finally figured out how they argued. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm starting to turn this franchise around. I have begun a winning tradition. This is how they argue, as far as I can tell.
Make no sense.
All right, if they're right, they argue the point. And they stay on point and make sure you stay on point until you're down on your knees, apologizing, begging for forgiveness. All right? No problem with that. Totally respect it. But here's the thing. If they're wrong, they go rogue. They go off-road.
Exactly. They don't stick to... They talk about everything. And, like, you're there trying to keep to the point, and they're bringing up about your junkie cousins and that time that you come in late and the food you're eating and it's like, bruh, we're talking about you cheating, bruh. What? How did we get to... And you're trying to... Fucking smart, man.
They go off-road. They start thinking of shit you're sensitive about. Maybe you don't get along with your dad. And in their head, they just start concocting this evil statement. Totally designed, this desperate Hail Mary attempt to make you so fucking mad, you just call him a cunt. That's what it is. And cunt trumps all the bullshit they did to start the argument. Now it's not about that. Well, that's no reason to call me a cunt. And then that's it. You're in this room now, right? And they won't hook up with you for a couple of days. Who cares?
Sorry, but that same logic also applies to race. No matter what minorities are put through, the moment they respond, all bets are off. That's it now. Done. Nope. There's a word for it. Ad hominem. Like, it doesn't matter. Our complaints are never right. Like, our response is never right. No matter what, our response is always worse than whatever we're responding to.
Who cares? You rub one out. Rub one out like a man. It's the champagne of victory.
Please, it is not anti-woman just to talk about women, okay? And we're going to do it now. Because when I say this is a feminized country, first of all, understand that I get it, that there are millions and millions of women who are steely-eyed realists and millions of men who are anything but. However, for lack of a better term, I would say that the feminine values are now the values of America. Sensitivity is more important than truth. Feelings are more important than facts. Commitment is more important than individuality. Children are more important than people. Safety is more important than fun. I always hear women say, you know, married men live longer. Yes, and an indoor cat also lives longer. It's a furball with a broken spirit that can only look out on a world it will never enjoy, but it does technically live longer. See, this is very personal to me because I'm like the last of my guy friends who have never gotten married, and their wives...
Is it me, or is he standing a bit feminine to be talking about femininity in society? I'm just saying. And now he's saying he's never been married. I don't even like this guy, and I've never actually even seen much of him. I've just seen thumbnails of him, and he's obviously a dickhead.
They don't want them playing with me. You know, I'm like the escaped slave. I bring news of freedom. You know, it's not a good thing to have.
Did I not just say the perfect thing before? Christ.
Me around, you know. Keep the husbands in the dark. They're happier that way. So I know women don't have it easy in America, but it is sort of politically incorrect just to be male in this country now. I mean, look at television. Look at any sitcom. The wife is always brilliant and ethereal and right about everything, and the husband is always a dumb fuck lucky to have found her. The only smart men on television are Frasier and his brother, both of whom are gayer than Little Richard's underpants. So,
he definitely ain't talking about Fraser. Maybe Niles. But is there much difference in Niles' masculinity and his masculinity right now? And he's even tried to get a fitted shirt. It's not working, bro. It's not working. That woman behind you is way more hench.
I understand that women suffer, but I don't think it's as much publicized that a lot of men in America are living lives of quiet desperation, lobotomized of their libido, anesthetizing themselves with sports and pornography, and living in an Orwellian world where we have to pretend to concur with the woman's point of view. On any TV show in America, if somebody got up there and said, you know, women are smarter than men, automatic round of applause. If somebody said men are smarter than women, you'd be booed off the stage. I mean, what does that tell you about our culture, that we have to pretend that one sex is smarter than the other? Women are smarter than men. If women ran the world, there'd be no wars. Being pregnant is sexy. You know, just a whole roster of things that we don't really believe, but we pretend to believe.
Is this right-wing comedy? Is this the standard of right-wing comedy? Fuck's sake. What did he just say there? Pretty obvious. You'd have a lot less wars if women ruled the world. This ain't the worm has turned, the two Ronnies, bro. Like, they wouldn't be exactly like us. Come on. Do you know how violent we are? Like, literally. Not him. But do you know how violent we are? Like, we fight over absolutely everything. Remember in school, bro. Like, the slightest little wrong look, accidental phrase, even a compliment from the teacher could cause a fight. Like, and what else did he say? Lying about men and women are as smart as each other. Men are not any better. And being pregnant is sexy. Isn't he a pro-life guy? Why is he talking down about that? Weird.
It's easier to make women nod than to live in the doghouse. I heard one on daytime TV the other day. Only a woman could have said this, and of course everyone pretended it was true. She said a couple should explore their mutual fantasies. There are no such things as mutual fantasies. Yours bore us, ours offend you. Trust me.
I call bullshit on that. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Women's fantasies, but bro, he's living in the 1920s, bro. I don't know what kind of women he knows. But bro, I'd love to be the star in any woman's fantasy. Put that on record. Are you dumb? And why would our fantasies... I guess our fantasies would bore them a bit. No, it wouldn't offend them. Are you mad? Are you mad? Unless you want to be a rapist. He wants to be a rapist. He wants to... Speak to Andrew Tate. He knows the girls that's into BDSM and all that. If you want to get down with that, that's what he's sounding like. And that's being generous. At worst, he's sounding like a wannabe rapist, bro. What are you asking for? What kind of fantasy would offend a woman? My God. But let me just reiterate, any women out there, I'm more than happy to be the star of your fantasy. Tell me what to do.
Disrespect them women! Subjugate those hoes! Now that's a great fetus.
There you go.
It's hard to be honest, man. Honesty is not the greatest thing to be. It's not, it's just no one wants to hear, yeah. Especially your woman, you know, she don't want to hear that. Because men, it's hard for us to love you and like you at the same time. It is what it is. Once a man loves you, he no longer likes you usually. So I'm gonna give you some advice, ladies, on how to keep your man liking you once he loves you, if that's possible. This is what I think. Men want to be alone.
Right, before he even says what he's gonna say, I instantly picked up. Reason why? The other guy was boring as shit. And he was talking like he genuinely thought there's a difference between men and women, and men are better. Like, you could hear the arrogance in the way he was talking. Patrice, on the other hand, he says some bullshit about women. But he's literally talking like from an honest point of view, in a sense that he doesn't think he's better than women. He just cusses them. Same as he cusses himself for being fat. People for being fat. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all even. So that's cool. Do you know what I mean? Like, when we get to a stage where the world is equal, then you can call me nigga, bro. Like, it'll be funny. You can say, oh, you're always late and these niggas, and it's cool. But we're not equal now. So it's coming from a sense of betterness. And nobody's better. We just have funny shit about us. Do you know what I mean? Like, me and my kids, my daughter especially, she was always banging on about the nose. And we're English, so being in England, our nose feels massive in comparison to everyone else. So we're always, but it's funny. Do you know what I mean? It just is what it is. But coming from a white person, that shit would hurt, because it would come from a sense that their nose is better than mine. It's not. It's just a different nose. But to us, it's like, fucking hell, we got wide noses, you know? Like, especially when, I'm not gonna, like, but it's funny. Differences are funny. Like, men and women are allowed to laugh at being different. But a lot of men think they are genuinely better.
Be alone. But we don't want to be by ourselves. Does that make sense at all? Meaning, really, look at this guy looking at his wife like, not you, sweetie, but sort of you, kinda. We want you somewhere, like, in the dwelling, just not here, like, just like around the corner, in the vents. You can sit in the vent, I don't care if you want to watch me, but in the on the roof, anywhere, but just not in front of me, trying to be my friend. What you doing? What you doing? Watching baseball? Why you watching baseball by yourself? How come you didn't get me up? You snuck out of bed. Why'd you didn't get me up? I want to watch baseball with you. What you doing? Why you down here by yourself? Move over. Move your leg off that ottoman.
My son is the perfect example of what a man is, right? My youngest. Because see him, it would be easy to get offended. Like, I used to, like, obviously I'm what I guess you would call a weekend dad now. Do you know what I mean? Like, me and my mate together no more. And they was always with me. And now as he's gotten older, he doesn't come around as much. And I'm a sensitive, so it's like, but when you know him, like, you understand he just wants an easy life. Like, if he happened to teleport here, he would come, as long as he can bring his PlayStation and just be. And that's what it's like a lot of times, being a man in a relationship. Like, and sometimes it seems to cause suspicion or doubt or something. I don't know. But, like, a lot of the times we want to just be. And I know that's shit for you. Don't get me wrong. I understand it's shit from your point of view. But that's what can be addressed. Like, we don't want to split up, but sometimes it's like, I just want to watch the football and you're talking about stuff and I was comfortable and now I'm not comfortable because your legs are in between mine. It's silly little stuff. But when you've been together 2 years, that shit irks you. Like, at the beginning, it's cool. You're doing anything to please her. Like, you're just grateful. But eventually, the shit that you used to find cute is annoying. Yeah. And everything's so social. Like, everything's so social. Like, and you can't tell them to just shut up. Because that's rude. But you kind of wish they were just like, just shush, man. But, yeah. I'm sorry. It's not me. That's my brethren, isn't it?
Next to you and wrap my leg around your leg and some weird I love you hot vine. Move out. Give me your arm. Give me your arm. Give it to me. Let me give it. Come here. Give me a kiss. Mean it. Mean the kiss. You love me? Say it. Say it. Mean it. What you doing? What you eating, a hamburger? You shouldn't be eating a hamburger at 11. It's too early to eat a hamburger. Let me go make you a better sandwich, a turkey sandwich on 47 grain bread with no mayonnaise and bean sprouts. Tastes like rat turds and twigs. Ain't that better? Ain't that better? A dry sandwich you don't want? Ain't that better? Why is the TV so loud? Well, turn it down. Ain't that better? Can't hear the TV, got a dry sandwich you don't want? Ain't that better? Why is it so cold in here? Why is the ceiling fan and the air conditioner? Turn it off. Ain't that better? Sweating, wrapped up into a hot vine, can't hear the TV, got a dry sandwich? Ain't that better? Why is it so dark in here? Let some sunlight in. Ain't that better? Can't see the TV, can't hear it. Hey, I gotta go, man. Y'all take care, man. Thank you very much.
As men, we can often come across situations where other men are making sexist jokes or degrading jokes and comments about women. We can tend to want to brush these jokes off, pretend that they didn't happen, or unfortunately, we might often laugh along with these jokes. Really, we're missing really important opportunities here to change societal attitudes and to take a stand against violence against women and to take a stand against sexism.
There are 2 rules in the fucking Latinos family. Don't marry somebody black and don't park in front of our house. Sit your fucking ass down. Sit your fucking ass down. I'm talking, bitch. Sit your fucking ass down. You pay to see a show. Sit your ass down. You can't take a joke, you're in the wrong motherfucking place. If you can't take a joke, you're in the wrong. So sit your fucking ass down or get the fuck out of here. Sit your fucking ass down or get the fuck out of here. I see you. Okay, I'm sitting motherfucking, I want to fucking hear myself.
I don't understand what's happening. Zero context. Who the fuck is this guy? Zero context, man. Just come out and said, don't marry black women. What? What? What's going on? And then started attacking the, what?
You got 2 choices. Shut the fuck up or get the fuck out. I'll tell you what, I'll make the choice for you. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I'll make the choice for you. Bye. Bye. Bye.
What's going on?
Bye. You can't take a joke, you're in the wrong motherfucking place. Bye. 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 Bye.
Mrs. TMZ.
The seats just open up front. What's up, man?
you
or
guys,
ships.
it's like, you know, oh, we're...
Ashley, time out. Joe's giving his. I have probably
got an
entirely
opinion.
opposite
Just an
opinions
opinion.
as Joe does when it comes to marriage. I'm stoked that I got married. I got a family now. You know, I'm coming from a total different thing, but I still think
I'm
it's
just letting you know, as
fascinating.
a listener, the way that it's coming off, it's as though he is some sort of relationship expert or whatever, because people are calling
He's
in.
Joe
No,
Rogan,
I love
way
this
that
host
lady.
of Fear Factor, fabulous comedian.
You guys aren't talking about Fear Factor. You guys
So
have
is
been
this
talking about
dangerous? Is this going to
relationships
ruin
for
the
the past 10
institution if
minutes.
someone has an opposing opinion?
No,
What
you
is
can't
this?
take that opinion.
Why do you
Yeah,
have to be
should make a
professional? Why do you have to be a
disclaimer that this
professional
guy does not
relationship
have
person
does not
to have an opinion? If you call up a
he can
sports
have an
radio
opinion. I'm
talk
not
show,
saying
do you
he
have
can't.
to have a professional degree in sports radio broadcasting
I'm
to have an
saying that if you're going
opinion?
to go on for 15 minutes about relationships...
You can go on for 15 minutes about meteors. You don't have to go to Mars first.
No. Yeah, but the way that you're talking about it is that you're like some sort of expert. And
No,
people are
I'm
like,
not. I'm
oh,
giving
dude,
my
wife
opinion. This
wants
is
to
what
go
I
and do
think.
this,
I think
and
people
then
should
you,
be able to do whatever they
go and
want.
do whatever.
You're
And I
a
think that's
crazy lady who
ridiculous.
hates when someone comes down on the
No,
crazy
I am not
institution.
crazy.
Yes,
You
you are.
guys
If you
are
weren't crazy, for sure
I've been
you wouldn't be
listening to you
calling.
for the past
For
10
sure you
years,
wouldn't be calling
and
up if you
this is
weren't
the first
crazy.
time I
You're a
called
nutty lady.
because it's like, oh
I'd
my
like to be
God, you
alone
guys
with you
are
at 4 a.m. when I'm trying to
at
get some
8:45 in the
sleep, and
morning.
you still want to argue about the laundry. You're a crazy lady.
No, I am
You're
not
crazy.
I
And
am
thank
not,
God you're
but
married.
you guys
You
are
need to
totally
have someone
certifiable.
locked up to a contract.
Totally
Who the hell wants to
certifiable.
listen to your annoying ass every day of their life?
No,
Good morning. Good morning. What are you going to pick out about me today? Oh, I forgot to put the cap on the toothpaste. Why don't you shoot me in the head right now? I think that was in our crazy little contract.
You need to make the disclaimer.
I don't need to do nothing, lady. You shut your hole. You can't control the world. You can't control me. You don't own me like
No,
that
I
little
don't control
bitch
you.
that
I
you
don't know
live
you,
with.
but this is it's the right thing to do, man.
What's the
She's
right thing to
not
do?
giving up,
Jump
though.
off the bridge?
Seriously.
I agree. You get up to the
You
highest
jump off
point
the
and you
bridge,
go head
no
first,
name, because
baby.
you're acting like a
Let's see
moron.
what's next.
And you're just going crazy.
I'm making fun of you. You know how many people are listening right now laughing their ass off? It's like 1 million. You don't know nothing, lady. You're delusional.
All I know
It's
is that
me
you
in
should
San
just
Francisco
really
against
make a
you,
disclaimer
crackpot.
That you guys are no relationship experts.
No relationship expert. I'm an expert. I've been through like 8,000 of them. You shut your hole. I had 4 relationships just this week.
Certifiable.
You don't know nothing about relationships, lady. We're having a relationship. You and I are relating.
Seriously.
It's a relationship. I am the comedian on the radio. You're the crazy lady making my day.
Whenever, and I understand the emotion behind not wanting people to mock certain things.